They tell you to work hard and save your money, and one day you'll finally be free. But let's be honest, that promise was never meant for everyone. The system wasn't designed to set you free. It was built to keep you comfortable, compliant, and just a little bit confused. By the time most people realize the rules of the game, they've already lost years playing it. We grow up being told to follow the formula. Go to school, get a good job, buy a house, and invest for retirement. Discipline, they say, is the key to financial success. But if that were true, wouldn't every honest, hardworking person you know already be rich? They're not, because the system doesn't reward effort. It rewards control. Real freedom isn't measured in dollars. It's measured in time and the ability to choose how you live each day. It's the power to say no without the fear of losing everything. That kind of freedom doesn't come from working harder. It comes from understanding how the system actually works and how to stop being its fuel. Let's rewind for a moment. For most of history, power came from owning land. Land meant food, and food meant control. In medieval times, most people worked land they didn't own, bound by debt and the need to survive. The names have changed, but the structure hasn't. Then the Industrial Revolution arrived, swapping the field for the factory. The tools changed, but the dependency stayed the same. People traded the plow for the paycheck. They escaped the soil, but found themselves trapped by wages, working day in and day out just to get by. The 20th century brought a glimmer of hope, the rise of the middle class, a house, a car, a pension. It was the dream. But that dream came with invisible strings attached. Education became standardized, jobs became stable, and consumption became the new faith. Work, earn, spend, and repeat, all in the name of progress. Then came the modern era. Technology soared, and corporate profits exploded, but real wages for the average person flatlined. The middle class started to disappear, swallowed by debt and the rising cost of living. Housing, healthcare, education, all of it climbed faster than our paychecks could ever keep up. And when people couldn't afford the dream anymore, what did the system do? It offered them credit, student loans, credit cards, bigger mortgages, all disguised as opportunity. But debt is not opportunity. Debt is dependency, and dependency is control. Every payment you make keeps the machine running. Every loan keeps you locked in. Inflation adds another sneaky layer to this. It quietly steals your time by reducing the value of every hour you worked and every dollar you saved. And when inflation hits, governments often respond in the same way, by printing more money. The result? The price of everything goes up, except your freedom. The wealthy know this. They aren't playing the same game as the rest of us. They don't trade their time for money. They make their money work for them. They own the assets that inflate in value when cash becomes worthless. They understand the tax code, the loopholes, and the flow of capital. They're not necessarily smarter. They're just playing by a different set of rules. Meanwhile, most people are trapped in a loop that feels like progress, but isn't. You get a raise, so you buy a bigger car, a new phone, or take on a higher mortgage, but you never actually buy more freedom. And when you start to question it all, the system sells you another distraction. A new productivity app, a course on starting a side hustle, another dream just out of reach. But here's the truth. The system doesn't want you to be financially educated. It wants you employed, indebted, and dependent. That's why financial literacy isn't a core subject in school, because real education creates independence. True wealth starts with understanding one powerful concept: leverage. It's about learning how to make your resources work for you. When your money starts earning more money and your time becomes optional, that's the moment the system loses its control over you. Financial freedom isn't about how much you make. It's about how much control you have. The freedom to take a risk, the freedom to walk away from a job you hate, the freedom to design a life that is truly yours. So how do you start? It's not by chasing get-rich-quick schemes. It begins by reducing your fragility, simplify your life, shrink your liabilities. Every unnecessary expense is a chain you can break. Then start building assets. And I'm not just talking about stocks and real estate. I'm talking about skills, systems, and networks that earn for you even when you're not actively working. Start something of your own. Learn how to create and multiply value. Think long-term, not just paycheck to paycheck. Next, you have to guard your attention. Ignore the noise, the endless news cycles, the market hype, the constant fear-mongering. Instead, study history. Follow the incentives. Learn how money really moves through the world. The calmer and more focused you are, the less control they have over your decisions. And finally, share what you learn. Real power multiplies when it spreads. When more people understand the rules of the game itself begins to change for the better. Most people will never achieve financial freedom, not because they can't, but because they were never shown how. They were handed a script that told them what to believe, what to buy, and what to fear. But you don't have to follow that script. You can write a new one built on clarity, control, and choice. Freedom doesn't come from trying to escape the system. It comes from mastering it. It comes from using it to serve you, not the other way around. It's not easy, it's not quick, but it's real. Because true wealth isn't just in your bank account, it's in your understanding. Money can be created out of thin air, but trust, awareness, and freedom, those must be earned. And that important work begins right now. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey. We have a lot more to uncover together. See you in the next video.